Hey guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. So today's video is going to be like a story time, chit chat type thing. I think I'm going to start doing these more often. I've gotten a lot of requests for like story times, chatty videos, get ready with me, stuff like that. And I figured I would go ahead and maybe incorporate this. Let me know down below, do you want, chatty videos once a week, once a month, once every 2 weeks? Let me know what you think. I'm gonna start calling these like Kay's Corner or Crystal's Corner or something like that. We'll make up like a whole little segment. So as you can see, we got a whole bunch of candles lit. The lighting is a bit softer. I've got the camera backed out a bit. And I figured I would start with some story time. So I figured I would kind of, make this video kind of about friendships and relationships, how to deal with stressful situations, all that kind of stuff, and go into some story time about like my history, my ex, all that kind of stuff. So let's go ahead and get started. I've always had issues with friends, and obviously when you think about when you have issues with stuff, you're like, okay, if I continually have issues with people, what's wrong with me? What am I doing wrong? And I think that's really important. I truly believe a lot in like self-reflection, looking back on what you do wrong, even in a situation that you truly feel like you're so right in, you're really mad at someone, they really, really pissed you off. I think that it's always important. Like, we can always improve. We can always improve. Nobody is perfect. Even when someone is responsible for doing so much wrong in an argument, there, I believe, are still better ways that we could have handled that. Now, for me, I tend to pop off quick. Like, I have a temper, and I can admit to that. If I feel wrong or disrespected or lied to, it's really easy for me to get really amped up and really mad and kind of go into like that attack mode. And that's really unhealthy. That's something that I've been trying to work on my entire life. The problem with that is that there's a fine line between trying to tame yourself down and not becoming a pushover. And I think where this comes from is because I was actually bullied when I was younger. So when I was about the 4th grade, this might be TMI, I started to develop. I hit puberty at a very young age. And I remember there was this group of girls that would come up to me and they would say things like, is your mom gonna make you wear a bra soon? Like, that's awkward, ew, gross, whatever. Why do you look like that? Why do you have boobs? Where did that come from? What's wrong with you? Like, you wouldn't believe. And of course, kids are young and they don't understand things, whatever. But I don't really believe that that's an excuse. And I was always very shy, very timid, very emotional. I just was a very sensitive kid. And so I went through most of elementary school kind of being bullied and teased, and kids would take advantage of me for that. And this kind of continued through middle school. I remember one time I was in 6th grade, and I hate that I have these bad memories or whatever, but I do. They're just there. And I remember I got invited to this girl's birthday party, but I couldn't make it because I got sick. And one night I was sitting on the couch, and this was back in the day before, like, obviously when I was in 6th grade, people didn't have cell phones or anything like that. I know that there's kids as young as 6th grade who have cell phones now, but that didn't exist when I was in 6th grade. We're talking like 1998 or something like that. And my phone rang and it went to voicemail, and my mom came out and she was like, Crystal, what is this about? And these girls left a voicemail saying like, I know you talk bad about me, you're a bitch, like, calling me bitch. We're talking 6th graders. Saying that I'm what they call me, like a narc, I'm a tattle, whatever. And I honestly had no clue what they were talking about. Come to find out, there was a girl who didn't like me very much. And at that party, she took the opportunity of me not being there to tell all these girls that I talked bad about them, made up all these stories, and I had no defense. So the rest of middle school, so we're talking from 7th and 8th grade on, was really tough because obviously those girls let all that shit go and we moved on or whatever, but I had a hard time making friends. I didn't really trust anyone. And kids were just brutal. They were mean. So when I got into high school, I kept telling myself, as I got older, I'm not going to be the same meek person. I'm not going to be afraid to make friends. I'm not going to be afraid of people or other girls or talking to other girls or whatever. So I remember specifically I was in math class and I decided to get them, like, I saw this group of girls and I, wanted to talk to them. I got up and I just went and talked to them. And oddly enough, they ended up being my friends all through high school. So high school got better. I went through a lot of stuff with friends, but who didn't in high school? Whatever. That's just how it is. So as I got older, I developed like this really thick skin, to the point where I was like, don't fuck with me type thing. Don't mess with me. Don't provoke me. I'm going to stick up for myself. I went from feeling like I was this tall to like way tall, like towering over people type shit. Like, no one's gonna take advantage of me. And to me, that kind of is, it's like a double-edged sword, because you also have to still be a respectable person. You still have to be respectful of people's feelings, etc., etc. But I got to the point where, like, I had a hard time trusting people. And it got to the point where people would be like, I'm afraid to fight with you, or I'm afraid to get in a disagreement with you because you get so intense. That is a downfall. That is not a good thing. No one that's close to you should ever feel like they can't come to you about things. And obviously at first when I heard that, I was like, well, why? Like, why? Like, I don't understand this. And boom, right away I was ready to set off. But it was the first time where I kind of took a step back and I was like, okay, this isn't right. And I truly felt like that maybe that person felt like that for a reason, because I thought about the type of person I was becoming. You know, I started to have less friends. I started to trust people less. And even though I feel like I had valid reasons to feel like the way I did, it's not right to be that way. Fast forward a few years. This is a funny story, you guys. I met my ex online. I want to say 19 or 20 years old. I went into a chat room called Air G. Most of you guys probably don't remember this, but this was like a big deal when like smartphones first came out, or cell phones that were internet capable. People would, you know, I discovered this world of like chat rooms or whatever. And so one night I was bored and I just went in there for fun. I was like, what's this all about? And I started talking to this guy. And we talked for about a year, like a whole year online before we met each other. And this was before catfish, this was before none of that. But I actually told him a fake name. Like, I didn't use a fake picture or anything, but I was smart enough to know, like, okay, like, obviously I want to get to know this guy, but I didn't feel comfortable enough giving him my real name. So I gave him a name like Brianna or something. I mean, and I came clean with him, obviously, and actually he was really cool. He's like, I totally understand. He's like, in fact, I never really honestly thought that that was really your name anyways. He goes, that's just a thing online. And it kind of was back then. Like, you could be whoever you wanted online. I don't want to paint this picture that I lived like some split personality or whatever, but it was just safety mode. You know what I mean? Like, I wanted to protect myself as best as I could. Like, I didn't even have a picture at first. And I shared my picture with him because I started to trust him. And obviously that's when I let him know my real name. And obviously he was cool about it because he totally understood. Anyways, so we met online, and then after a year of talking, he decided that he was going to come visit me. Well, he was from Canada. And he saved up all this money. He was a year younger than me. So at the time we first started talking, he had been 18. I was 19. And I remember there was this moment where, and I should preface this, I never really had boyfriends through school. I never really had any real relationships. Funny thing is, like, I had crushes on guys and stuff, but I kind of avoided it because I saw what my friends went through. Like, high school relationships are freaking terrible most of the time. Like, you don't trust anyone. Guys are partying. Everyone's fucking cheating on each other, whatever. I just wasn't into it. So I honestly had no desire. I avoided it. I didn't even go to prom or anything. I was just kind of antisocial. I just didn't care about that stuff. But anyways, so, you know, being online, so this was the first guy to actually tell me, like, you're beautiful, and, you know, you're charming, or you're beautiful, or you're funny, you're smart, I want to meet you, I have interest in you. And I was way heavier back then. I was like 195 pounds. And I had like very little confidence, really. I had confidence like to stick up for myself, but not confidence the way I looked. I should say that. He came to meet me and I was bigger and he didn't care. And I was just like, all right, sweet. And we had a really good time. But there's one warning that I should have paid so much attention to. Two things. First off, we were outside, I remember outside of this restaurant, and he wanted to go to this store. And we were actually on a double date with my sister and her boyfriend at the time. And they didn't want to go, and they drove. So I was like, okay, well, I guess we can't go. He took, I can't remember what it was, something of mine. I don't know if it was like a stuffed animal that we had won from the arcade we were at or something. And he had such a bad temper that he like took the stuffed animal and like chucked it over this bridge we were near. And I was just like I wasn't used to that behavior. I was just like, what the hell? And so I kind of just sat there like quiet, and my sister didn't really say anything to me. And I just thought, in my mind, I'm like, well, people get mad. Like, you'd be surprised at how like naive a girl can be, or a guy, if they're in that kind of relationship. That was the first warning. I should have been like, well, that's not normal temper. Like, what the hell? Secondly, and I should have listened to my gut because I felt off. Secondly, I had my cell phone, obviously, and there was this girl that was calling my phone from Canada. I'm like, who the hell is this? And he's like, that's just my friend. And I'm like, you never talked about her? He's like, yeah, my friend. We'll call her Sally. My friend Sally, she's calling me. I told her that, you know, I gave her your number. I said if she wanted to call me, she could or whatever. And I'm like, okay. And he just kept like pounding in, like, I've known her for so long. She's my best friend. Well, he would like get on the phone and go walk away and talk to her. You guys, again, I was blinded. I just thought, whatever. I literally thought nothing of it. I trusted this guy. And so this went on, whatever. And I remember still feeling funny about it. I kind of brought it up to him, like, well, why does she need to talk to you here? And I finally just said, well, no. Like, it's my phone. She doesn't need to talk to you right now. Like, whatever. She knows you're here. She can text, whatever. And he didn't really put up much of a fight. He was just like, whatever. We let it go. So after his visit, like, he stayed for like a month. And I like seriously thought I was in love with this guy. Like, he, you know, treated me really well besides the one outburst. You know, we'll get more into that later, but, you know, he was treating me really well. He showed real interest in me, and I had never had that before. So when it was time to go, I was devastated that he was going back home. And when he went back home, you know, I kept saying, like, well, what are we going to do with this? Where's this going to go? I mean, we had a whole year of this, like, phone relationship, sending each other letters and gifts and video chatting and, you know, everything else, texts. You visited me, like, this isn't it, you know? Right away, he started to, like, back away from me. And I was just like, okay, like, that's strange. Like, why is he acting like this? He was like, I'm so busy. And I didn't want to fight about it because I was just like, whatever, you know, like, I was so scared that, like, this whole thing wasn't going to work out anyways because I had fallen for this guy that I was like, whatever, you know. Like, a month later, he just was like, I have to break up with you. And I was just like, what? Like, I was completely blindsided, and you guys, I was devastated. Like, this guy came to visit me. He spent a month with me. He met my family, my sister. You know, we were intimate, all this stuff, and, like, he truly made me believe that he wanted to be with me. And so when this happened, it was like my first real breakup, and we had such an intense like relationship leading up to it. And so over this time, like, we kind of talked. 3 months later, he started to like really contact me again. And all of a sudden had like this massive interest in me. And obviously I was super excited because I was like, well, hell yeah, like, I still love you. I still want to be with you. You know, I just thought maybe he was busy, or he just, you know, freaked out. I thought maybe he was freaked out of the relationship. It got really intense. He wasn't ready. That's kind of what he told me, because I just didn't know if it would be feasible. But, you know, he's like, we can save up a bunch of money. I will move there in like 3 months, blah, blah, blah. So that was it. We decided it. So I saved up a shit ton of money. Like, I didn't spend a single dime. Like, I was still living at home. I wasn't, you know, like, paying really anything besides like my own bills, you know, phone, gas, whatever. My parents, you know, weren't really making me pay rent at that point. And so he saved up a crap ton of money. So when he moved here, we were ready to be in our own place. I had a full-time job. Our relationship just spiraled after that. That temper I should have watched out for came out like a beast. He started to get like verbally abusive. All kinds of stuff happened. You guys. And I'm not going to go into the whole story. At one point, I even moved to Canada. I lived there for a while. We lived together there. We moved back. Like, there was this whole, like, there's so much in there. But my anxiety, my panic attacks got really bad because he would like make me feel secluded. He would get mad if I'd call my mom or my sister about my anxiety and not talk to him. But the problem was, every time I talked to him about it, he didn't understand. He didn't care. He just thought like, well, get over it, or do this, do that. And I was like, well, of course I'm going to go talk to somebody else, you know? And it took me about, I want to say 2 years to really like absorb what was happening here, and to understand that this was like straight up verbal abuse. This was like mental abuse. Like, he would just yell at me, basically would tell me that I was a piece of shit human. Like, if we would get an argument about something, that I was worthless. He then got to the point where he started calling me fat. Like, he would tell me all these terrible things. And finally, like, I just woke up one day and I was like, I so thank God. I'm not even kidding you guys. It was one of those cliche moments. I popped out of bed. And I looked around me. I was like, what the am I doing right now? Like, this is not normal. That's the funny thing, is like, he convinced me that you guys, no joke, he would say this to me. He'd be like, we're like, I don't remember the characters in The Notebook, Ryan Gosling, Rachel McAdams, like, that's how we are. We just fight, we just argue. And I'm, yeah, but this isn't, in my head, I'm like, after a while, I'm like, this isn't a normal type of fight. This is not how people argue. Like, this is not healthy. And so I was done. I can't do this anymore. I've tried to talk to you about this. You've been verbally abusive. And after that, it just really reiterated and reminded me why I became such a hard ass, essentially. I truly believed at that point, like, you could not trust people. This is how people really are. You know what I mean? I know that's bad and you can't think that way, but I mean, in that moment, I really did. Well, he moved back home and we had been broken up. So on my birthday, he sent me this email. And again, we've been broken up, telling me the truth about Sally, that he had slept with her, that they were in love, and that the only reason why he ended up moving to me was because things weren't working out with them. She was actually cheating on him while he was talking to me. And I don't even know. I don't even know all the logistics of it, or how he was gambling the two of us around, but that broke me even more. This entire freaking relationship was a total lie. It was a farce. Not one thing was honest, not one thing is real. When something like that hits you, you're just like that's a mind fuck right there. How can someone possibly like manipulate and lead someone on like that and never tell them? Like, he kept this from me for years. I had no clue about their relationship. He would always just say that was his best friend. And yeah, you could say, dumbass, hello, it's obvious. And obviously thinking about it now, duh, you know what I mean? But no, like for real, like this happened. And it just, all my emotions came crashing down on me. And I just freaked out. I was bawling. And I remember calling up my best friend. And I was like, Sarah, like, I need to come over. I don't know what the hell is going on. How the hell did any of this happen? And that was part of my true awakening. I found myself. I got into working out. I started to eat healthier. I started to take care of myself for once. I was done being manipulated. I was done having any of this over me. I pulled myself up, and there would be days that I was depressed, you guys. Like, I got depressed. You know, at the same time, it truly forced me to find myself and to really question people's motives. Is it true that most people are well-intentioned? Yeah, I do believe that. Are most people good people? Yes, I truly believe that. But people have to prove themselves, just like I have to prove myself to someone that I am a good person, that I am a good friend, and that I am trustworthy. I just don't stand for being treated badly. So kind of what this long story ties into is that if someone's treating you wrong, don't feel bad to bring it up. If somebody makes you feel like you're less, don't feel bad to bring it up. If someone's shitting on your dreams, don't let them shit on your dreams. The people you want around you are people who build you up, that they love your presence, that they don't care who you are, where you came from, what your past is like, and they instill trust. They trust you, and they give you reason to trust them. They are genuine people. They are there for you through thick and thin. They can make it through the arguments. They can make it through the fights. They can handle your feelings, and you can handle theirs. You feel comfortable talking to each other. If you don't have that, then sometimes hit the road. So not all people get along. And that's just how it is. Nobody deserves to be manipulated. No one deserves to be told, hey, you're bringing up your feelings to me, but you're psycho. Or you're over-exaggerating this. No. Your feelings are important. Who you are is important. Your values are important. Your morals are important. Life is so short. There's just no time to be sitting here trying to reason with people and express yourself to people who don't give a shit, or who are just so wrapped up in their own bullshit that they can't take 2 seconds out of their own crap to just consider you or how you feel. Now, this is a two-way street, obviously. You have to do this. You have to do this for your friends as well. You have to do this for your partner as well. This goes both ways. Support goes both ways. But if that becomes one-sided, you feel like you're always there for someone, that person is never there for you, or you're always there for someone, but they're only there 50% of the time, or when it's convenient for them. I can't tell you guys how many friends I've had where I've expressed to them like, hey, that kind of hurt my feelings, or, you know, why are you acting this way? Did I do something wrong? And they're just so quick to manipulate and turn it on you. Instead of thinking like, hey, like, maybe I fucked up. Maybe I did this wrong. They're so ready to flip the bill. They're so ready to just make it your problem. The fundamentals of arguing when it comes in those types of situations where one is presenting that they felt disrespected to the other party, you know, I've done a lot of research on this, and a lot of it comes from being defensive. They feel guilty. They don't want to feel guilty. Guilt is a shitty feeling. So when you feel guilty, your first thing you want to do is to defend that shit, man. You want to get rid of that guilt, and you'll do it at any cost. And you'll do it at that cost to even spare the person the apology that they deserve to make yourself feel not guilty. That is natural human, that's a natural human reaction. At least that's what I believe. And I can't be that way. I don't know. I felt like I've held my tongue for so long with so many people, and as a kid and growing up, that it's like, hey dude, if you do something to piss me off, I'm gonna bring it up. Especially with my ex, you guys, I could go on forever with stories with that, things that he's done to me. I mean, there are some of our arguments where he would take my phone, he would cut my phone cord so I couldn't charge it anymore. And obviously that was towards the end of our relationship. That was like when I was just like, oh hell no, like this is done. Like, I'm a good girl. I'm loyal. I am committed. I'm faithful. There's no reason for me to be feeling that way. And I think a lot of this too goes into the morals of everything that happens around us. Take responsibility. If you fuck up, take responsibility for it. Say, hey man, I'm really sorry, I fucked up. If there's an explanation to that fuck up, then give it, but don't let it be an excuse. Don't let it be an excuse for your apology or your sorry or for the way you acted. Explaining yourself would say, hey, I had this impression. I was under the impression, or I thought this was this, or I thought that meant this. I'm really sorry that I took that the wrong way. I'm sorry that I ran with that. I'm sorry that I pissed you off. I'm sorry that I fucked up. There's a difference. There's a difference between saying, oh, well, I did this because this, but sorry, that's not genuine. You can't apologize to someone, but then out of one side of your mouth saying, hey, I'm really sorry, but then on the other side of your mouth saying, but this, and this, I did this because you did. That's not how a real apology works. If you're truly sorry for something, you're freaking sorry for it. I don't know. This is just a rant that I had to go on. I don't want to bring negativity. In fact, I want to make a positive message out of this. Respect people that you truly care about. Don't act on anger. Don't do something now out of anger that you know you're going to regret later. Stop, take a minute, think about it, then present that information. That's really important. Same thing with YouTube. Oh my gosh, you guys, with my BoxyCharm video, I got so much hate for that, and I'm like, are you freaking kidding me right now? This is makeup. That's what my channel is about. My channel is about honesty. I had a girl commenting on that video yesterday, actually, and this video was posted a month ago, whatever, commenting telling me that real successful YouTubers don't bash companies. And I thought to myself, girl, I'm not here trying to get a handout or a sponsorship or to get brands to like me. I'm a new YouTuber, but the intention of my channel is to be honest, to inform people, beginners who are just getting into makeup, a young girl who's getting into makeup and thinks, oh, how do I do this? Or what are some good products? Where do I start? Young and old, boys, girls, whoever. I don't care who you are. I'm here to be honest about products. I'm here to talk to you honestly about products. If a company sucks and I experience horrible customer service again and again and again, I want to share that with you. I want to make that aware. It doesn't mean that you have to take it as Bible and you're going to do everything I say, and just because I don't like a company means that you have to not like it either. That's never been my intention. Hell, I prefaced that in that video. I pinned a comment that prefaced that. That's not what this is about. It's just me expressing myself on my channel. And she went on to say too, she was like, well, if I did have a bad product, I wouldn't get online and talk about it. And I'm like, sweetie, that's you. But this is a makeup channel. That's why I'm doing this. If BoxyCharm was great, I would talk about how great BoxyCharm was. I'd be raving to you guys about it. In fact, I'm about to research another beauty subscription box that's supposed to be coming for me at the beginning of February. If that one's awesome, I'm going to come on here and rave about it and recommend it to you guys. Most of my videos are pretty positive. I think I only have like one shitty products video and an anti-haul, and that's about it. And there's not really any like horribly negative content on this channel at all as far as brands or products or anything like that. It's just people need to think before they type. People need to think before they speak. Have respect. Have respect for the person that's presenting the information to you. If they're presenting it to you in a respectful way, then you need to present your opinion back in a respectful way. And that's how I feel about that. And again, it goes through all walks of life, every situation in life, with friendships, relationships, family, at work, whatever the case may be. That's how it is. So I'm going to wrap this up now because this video is like 25 minutes long. It's way long. I hope that what I said resonates with some people. Be kind to each other. You never know what somebody else is going through. You don't know what they're going through in their life. They could be on the edge. They could have just had something terrible happen. Yes, think about those things, but you also have to think about yourself because you're going through shit too. We all are. Nobody watching this, no one's sitting here, there, back there, 1,200 miles overseas, whatever, north, south. Everybody has something going on. Everybody has something going on that's hurting them, something they're suffering through. And just because you think you might be going through something horrible doesn't negate what anyone else is going through. Obviously, there's more situations that are worse than others, but everybody is fighting a battle. And we just need to treat each other like that. We need to be able to talk to each other, have open conversation, stop the defensiveness, add more respect. And that's where I'm going with this. This was so random. This was so whatever, you guys, but I just really feel like I had to sit down and just get this off my chest and how I feel. And yeah, so I want to thank you guys for watching. If you stuck with me through this whole entire video, leave a, let's see, what kind of emoji? Leave a palm tree emoji down below, because if you are where I am, you are dying for some warmth or some kind of tropical vacation. So leave me a palm tree emoji below. If you can't leave an emoji, leave me a smiley face. How about that? Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like videos like this, let me know down below. Give me that thumbs up. Be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. We'll be back to regularly scheduled programming on Monday or Tuesday. I'm testing out a product and it's on my brows now. Thank you guys so much. I love you, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.